Hi students and welcome to this lecture which is on the topic percentages. Now, how many percentage marks did you get in your 10th standard? Or the percentage of total runs scored by Sachin Tendulkar in the World Cup 2011? Or what percent of total students in your class are boys? And these are some of the many questions that involve percentage. Percentage helps us to make a comparison or to understand the share of a particular entity in terms of the total amount. Now, as this is a very important chapter in quantitative aptitude, so here we will understand what are percentage, their fractional and decimal equivalents, the concept of percentage increase, decrease, successive increase and decrease, and also we are going to study about product constancy. And finally, through many solved examples, we will understand their applications in our day-to-day life. So, let's begin. First of all, let's try to understand the meaning of percent. When we use the word percent, what does it actually mean? Percent literally means for every 100. So, whenever we are using the word percent, it actually means that we are comparing a quantity with the base 100. Now, why does the word percent means for every 100? The percent can be divided into two parts, per and cent. And the meaning of cent is 100. So, for every 100. Thus, percent actually means for every 100 or out of every 100. We compare a quantity with respect to 100. Now, percent is always denoted by this symbol. So this symbol always means that we are denoting a percentage. Now what does 10% mean? 10% means 10 by 100. So we have expressed 10 with respect to the base 100. So always the denominator would be equal to 100. 10% means 10 divided by 100. Similarly, if I say 45%, it means that it is equal to 45 divided by 100. We have divided 45 by the base 100. If we say of 250%, then what does it mean? Definitely it is 250 divided by 100. So whenever we use the symbol percent, it means that we are dividing this number by 100. The base is always considered to be 100. 5 is what percent of 20? We have to find out what percentage is 5 out of 20. So we can write 5 by 20 as equal to 5 into 5 divided by 20 into 5. We are actually trying to express the denominator as equal to 100. So this would be equal to 25 by 100. We have expressed 5 by 20 in a number such that the denominator is equal to 100. So 5 is 25% of 20. It actually means that if we take 5 parts out of 20, then that is actually equivalent to taking 25 parts out of 100. So we express in terms of 100. Now let us say that we have a company A which is selling computers, and similarly we have a company B which is selling soaps. Now if we say that in the first year the company A sells 1000 PCs and in the second year it sells 1100 PCs. And let us say that company B in the first year sells 1 lakh soaps and in the second year it sells 1 lakh 100 soaps. Now if we look at the increment, that is the increment in the number of products sold, then for both the companies that is equal to 100. 1100 minus 1000 is equal to 100, and similarly 1 lakh 100 minus 1 lakh is equal to 100. So both these companies have increased their number of products sold by 100. But now if I want to find out which company has performed better, then what do? We actually find out the percentage increment. So the percentage increase for company A is equal to 100 divided by 1000, as increase is 100 and the original number of PCs sold is equal to 1000. So this percentage increase is equal to 10% for company A. And for company B, that would be equal to 100, which is the increment, divided by the number of soaps sold in the first year, which is equal to 1 lakh. So that comes out to be equal to 0.1. So percentage increase for this company A is equal to 10%, and the percentage increase in the number of products sold for company B is equal to 0.1%. Now which is greater? Of course, company A has performed better in terms of increment in the number of products sold. Now it's very important for us to understand that whenever we have to find out the percentage increment, then we use the formula that percentage increment or the percentage increase is equal to absolute increase divided by the original number on which the increment has taken place into 100. So that would directly give you the percentage increase. And similarly, if we have to find out the percentage decrease, then decrease divided by the original number on which the decrease has taken place into 100. That would give percentage decrease. Now percent as a fraction. Now let's try to understand how to express percent as a fraction. A percent is equivalent to a fraction with denominator 100. We've already seen that a percent is actually equal to a fraction with a denominator 100. We always express the denominator as 100. So 8% of something would be equal to 8 by 100. Simply this sign means 1 by 100. So 8 by 100 of that thing. Now 8 by 100 is nothing but equal to 2 by 25. So that is equal to 2 by 25 of anything. Simply divide this number by 100. So that's the way how to convert a percent into fraction. Whenever you see this symbol, it means that divided by 100. The base has to be 100 or the denominator has to be 100. Now 13 by 25 is what percent? Now let's try to convert a fraction into a percent. Now what we have to do is we have to convert 13 by 25 into a percent. Now we always know that percent means denominator with 100. So what we are going to do is we are going to convert this denominator into 100. Now this could be done if we multiply and divide by 4. So 13 into 4 divided by 25 into 4. This is equal to 52 by 100, and so this is equal to 52%. So 13 by 25 is equivalent to 52%. Instead of multiplying and dividing by 4, what you can do is simply multiply the fraction by 100 and directly you can get the answer. So 13 by 25 into 100 will be equal to 52%. So whenever you have got a fraction and you want to convert it into percent, simply multiply it by 100. You'll get the answer in percentage. And if you want to convert a percent into fraction, divide it by 100. Now decimal as a percentage. Now let's try to see how to express a decimal into a percentage. To convert from a decimal to a percent, just move the decimal 2 places to the right or simply multiply the decimal by 100. So whenever you have to convert a decimal number into a percent, either move the decimal 2 places to the right, or in other words, multiply the number by 100. For example, 0.006 is equal to 0.06%. How? We simply move the decimal 2 places to the right. So 1, 2, 2. So 2 places would be at this point, and so it becomes 0.06%. Or if we multiply it by 100, 0.006 into 100, then that is also equivalent to 0.06%. So to convert a decimal into a percent, multiply it by 100. Now percent as a decimal. To convert from a percentage to a decimal, just move the decimal 2 places to the left or simply divide the percentage by 100. So what we do here is we move the decimal points to 2 places to the left, or we simply divide the percentage by 100. Example, express 3% in decimal. Simply divide the percentage by 100. So 3% is equal to 3 divided by 100, and this is equal to 0.03. So if you want to convert a decimal to a percent, multiply it by 100. If you want to convert a percent to a decimal, divide it by 100. Now estimating percents. Now at times it's difficult for us to calculate the exact value of percent. So in such cases what we do is we simply estimate percents. But before we do that, let's see some of the fractional equivalent of some simple percent. The first column gives us the percentage and the second column gives us the fractional equivalent of such percentage. So 100% means 100 divided by 100, and that is equal to 1. 75% would be equal to 75 by 100 and equal to 3 by 4. Similarly, 50% means 50 divided by 100, and which is equal to 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is equivalent to 50%. Similarly, 25% would be equal to 25 by 100, and which is equal to 1 by 4. 12.5% would be equal to 12.5 divided by 100, which is equal to 1 by 8. 20% would be 20 divided by 100, equal to 1 by 5. 10% is 10 divided by 100, which is equal to 1 by 10. 33.33% is equal to 33.33 divided by 100, which is equal to 1 by 3. So these are some of the fractional equivalent of some important percentage. Now based on this, let's try to estimate the percentage. Example, estimate 19 as a percent of 80. So we have to estimate 19 as a percent of 80. We do not have to find out the exact value, but we have to estimate. Now how to do that? 19 by 80 is approximately equal to 20 by 80. Though this is not equal to 19 by 80, but it would be approximately equal to 20 by 80. Now 20 by 80 is equal to 1 by 4, and from the table we see that 1 by 4 is equivalent to 25%. So 19 as a percent of 80 would be approximately equivalent to 25%. Thus 90 by 18 is equivalent to 25%. This is an estimated percentage. If we use the calculator and find out the exact value of 19 by 80 as a percentage, then that would be equal to 19 by 80 into 100, and this comes out to be equal to 23.75, which is nearly close to 25%. So if we have to find out a rough estimate, then we use the method of approximation, and using the fractional equivalent we find out the estimate percentage. Let's see one more example. Estimate 13% of 72. Again we have to estimate 13% of 72. Now 13% is approximately equal to 12.5%. Also we know that 12.5% is nothing but equal to half of 25%, and 25% is nothing but equal to 1 by 4. So this is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 by 4, which is equal to 1 by 8. Thus 12.5% is nothing but equal to 1 by 8. So 13% of 72 would be approximately equal to 1 by 8 of 72, and this is equal to 9. So the approximate value of 13% of 72 comes out to be equal to 9. Now if we use a calculator and find out the exact value, then that would be equal to 9.36, which is pretty much close to 9. So using the estimation, we can find out the approximate values of percentage. Let's see one more example based on estimation. Estimate 9.6% of 51. So we have to estimate 9.6% of 51. Now there are two methods. The first method is 9.6% of 51 is approximately equal to 9.6% of 50. Now we have rounded off the value of 51 to 50. This is equivalent to 9.6% of 50. Now 50 could be written as 100 by 2. So now this could be further written as 9.6% into 100 by 2, because 50 is nothing but equal to 100 by 2. 9.6% is equal to 9.6 divided by 100. 100 and 100 gets cancelled, and this would be approximately equal to 9.6 divided by 2. Now 9.6 divided by 2 is equal to 4.8. So the approximate value of 9.6% of 51 comes out to be 4.8. Here we have taken the approximate value of 51. Now the second method could be, we have approximated 9.6% to be 10%. So that would be equal to 10% of 51, which is equal to 5.1. Thus the approximate value of 9.6% of 51 is 5.1. From method 1 we get the approximate value as equal to 4.8, and from method 2 we get the approximate value as 5.1. But the actual value is 4.896. So this value, which is the exact value, is very much close to 4.8, the value which we found using method number 1. So in this case, first method is better, as it gives us a value which is very much close to the actual value. So instead of using method 2, we should use method 1 in such cases. Actually, approximating 9.6% to 10% is by large a very huge approximation which we should avoid. So this was about estimating percentages. Now let's see percentage increase and percentage decrease. Percent increase and decrease of a value measure how that value changes as a percentage of its original value. So whenever we say of percentage increase or percentage decrease, then it means the measure that how much of value changes with respect to the original value as a percentage. So percentage increase or decrease helps us to measure how much the value of any quantity changes with respect to the original quantity or with respect to the original value. Your important thing is that it is always expressed in terms of its original value or the original quantity. Percentage change would be equal to absolute value change divided by original quantity into 100. we are multiplying it by 100 because we are trying to find out the percentage change. So percentage change is equal to absolute value change divided by the original quantity into 100. Now this percentage change could be a percentage increase or a percentage decrease. If the case is percentage increase, then absolute value change would be actually the increment that has taken over the original value divided by the original value into 100. And if we are trying to find out the percentage decrease, then this would be equal to decrease divided by the original quantity. The important thing is that the base should be original quantity. For example, let us say that we have a series of comic books. Now in the year 1994, the price was 120 rupees. This comic book was priced at 120 rupees in the year 1994. But in the year 1995, the price changed to 132. Now if I ask you what is the absolute change in the value, then that would be equal to 132 minus 120, which is equal to 12 rupees. So the absolute value change would be equal to 12 rupees. We simply subtract the original value from the new value. And the original value is 120. Now if I ask you what is the percentage change in the value, then that would be equal to 12 divided by 120. 12 is the absolute value change and 120 is the original value. So 12 by 120 into 100, which is equal to 10% increase. There is a 10% increase in the value of the comic book from the year 1994 to the year 95. Let's take one more example. Amy is training for the 1500 meter run. When she started training, she could run 1500 meters in 5 minutes and 50 seconds. After a year of practice, her time decreased by 8%. How fast can she run the race now? So in this example, Amy, who is an athlete, is training for 1500 meter run. Initially, she could run 1500 meters in 5 minutes and 50 seconds. After a year of practice, her time decreased by 8%. Now we have to find out how fast can she run the race now. So total distance is equal to 1500 and the time taken is 5 minutes 50 seconds, which is equal to 350 seconds. We convert this minute into seconds and so we get the total time taken to be equal to 350 seconds. Now her new time decreased by 8%, given that through practice she decreased her time by 8%. So the decrease in time would be 8 by 100 into 350. 350 is the original time taken. So the decrease, the absolute decrease would be equal to 8 by 100 into 350, or which is equal to 28 seconds. Now new time would be original time minus the decrease that happened in the time. So that would be equal to 350 minus 28, which is equal to 322 seconds. Now if we convert it into minutes, then we get the answer as equal to 5 minutes 22 seconds. So the new time is equal to 5 minutes 22 seconds, and which is 8% less than the original time taken by Amy. Now by what percent is her earlier time more than her present time? Now we have to find out by what percent her earlier time is more than her present time. That there is a decrease in 8%, so the answer should be 8%. But no, the answer is not 8%. Why? Because now we have to find out with respect to the new time, not with respect to the original time. Earlier we had given that 8% is the decrease in time with respect to her original time. Now it is asked by what percent is her earlier time more than her present time. So the base has changed now. The base is now the present time, not the original time. So difference is 28 seconds, as we have already found. And so the base here is 322 seconds, that is the new time, and not 350 seconds. So the percentage change would be 28, that is the decrease, divided by 322, which is the new time, into 100, and this comes out to be equal to 8.69%. So her earlier time is 8.69% more than her present time. So students, this is a very important example through which you have to understand what base has to be taken, because at times it's very confusing and we take the original base all the time for calculating the percentage change. But the language of the problem has to be very clearly understood. If it is asking about a percentage increase or decrease with respect to the original value, then the base would be the original value. But if it is about percentage increase or decrease with respect to a new value, then the base has to be the new value. So before solving, please try to understand and please comprehend the language of the problem, which base it is talking about. Let's see one more example. If 5 increases by 10%, what is the new value? So we have the number 5 and this value increases by 10%. What is the new value? First of all, we are going to find out 10% of 5. Now 10% of 5 is nothing but 10 divided by 100 into 5, which is equal to 0.5. So now this value 5 is to be increased by 0.5. So we will increase 5 by 0.5 and so the new value would be equal to original value plus the increase. Original value is 5 and the new value increase would be 5 into 10 by 100, this expression, which is equal to 0.5. So the answer would be 5.5. Now we can also write this as the new value equal to 5 into 1 plus 10 by 100. Here 10 is the percentage increased. So the new value would be 5.5. If A increases by R%, then the increased value would be given by A into 1 plus R by 100. So this is the expression for finding the new value. That is, if A increases by R%, then the new value A dash would be equal to A into 1 plus R by 100. Similarly, let's try to solve one more example. If 5 decreases by 10%, what is the new value? Now we are going to decrease 5 by 10%. And we have to find out the new value. Then again 10% of 5 is nothing but equal to 0.5. 10 by 100 into 5. Now this has to be decreased from 5. So the new value would be equal to original value minus the decrease. So 5 minus 5 into 10 by 100. This could be written as 5 into 1 minus 10 by 100. Now this expression is nothing but equal to 0.9. So 5 into 0.9 is equal to 4.5. Or this could also be written as 5 minus 0.5, which is also equal to 4.5. So the answer would be the new value is equal to 4.5. So in general, if P decreases by R%, then the decreased value is given by B into 1 minus R by 100. So whenever there is a decrease, there is a minus sign over here, and if it's an increase, there's a plus sign over here. So this is about the percentage increase and percentage decrease.